Technology is awful, it's so bad. Dot, 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 dot. Why is technology so silly, no? I do not understand. That's what I get for updating my software when I needed to do stuff, isn't it not? And that is the issue. And it's just being silly on my computer. So at least it's not being silly here. I am back today. I don't even know what happened with absolutely anything. Did I appear and then I disappeared? Because if that is what happened, I do apologise. I have my stream pulled up on my iPad, obviously to keep track of stuff like this, and then I went live, or I thought I went live, but my iPad didn't say I was live, and then refreshing my YouTube and going back onto my page, it still said I was not live, even though it said I was live here, and I was like, okay, so is there an issue somewhere? Hello, hi, how are you doing today? I always forget how much troublesome technology can be sometimes. Kat, Tyler, hello, how are you? Yes, I am back. Hopefully I shall remain. Please ignore the child behind me. It is the summer holidays at the moment, so they are mostly, constantly, always it. But that is not an excuse, though I try to make it an excuse. And we're here to do some work. We're also here to assist Kat with her 70k in 7 days challenge that she has started today, didn't it, Kat? So we're here to accountability, productivity, motivate Kat while she goes through all of the motions of doing that. Have you started yet, Kat? How is it going so far? If you have, let me know. Joanna, hello, how are you? My weather app is still set to the... you know what? People who don't live in the UK always think we're over-exaggerating so badly when we're like, oh, it's going to be like 27 degrees, 28 degrees, 30 degrees, which is probably like, I don't know, 70s or 80s Fahrenheit, but it's horrible. I've been okay so far today. We've been in the house mostly with fans going, so I haven't majorly felt it, despite the fact it's been horrible. But it's not fun. Like, I'm in a vest top. I can't remember the last time I wore a vest top out in public as actual clothes and not as pyjamas. That is how horrible and hot it is at the moment. Anna, hello, how are you doing today? Tyler's done some cleaning and laundry and some writing, so pretty productive. Fantastic. Yes, 70k in 7 days. Kat does have a plan. I watched her video on it. I watched it this morning actually, and then I was like, you know what, let me, because I have some stuff of my own that I need to do in regards to work for writing, and I was like, you know what, let me hop on, let me bring in the accountability and the body doubling and give her some cheer while she does her work and while I do mine, because now I'll be forced to actually do the work that I need to do. So it works both ways, which is absolutely fantastic. 4 hours in, halfway through the opening image, it's been a slow start and I had to clean up after a cat. Oh yeah. I remember when I did my 70k in 7 days, I did a chapter 0 prologue for the story, and I spent so long writing that. I was like, why am I trying to sit here and make this sound good? I don't need to make it sound good. I have so many words that I need to write. I don't need to focus on the quality. But I spent ages. I spent like 3 hours writing 1,000 words before I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it like this. I have to move on. But slow start. I think as I got into it, it became a little bit easier to just write whatever in order to get the words. So hopefully, because you are quite fast at writing anyway, you'll be able to sort of get that same groove going quite quickly. JC, hello. I'm good, JC. How are you doing? Yeah, the error message would have been, actually, come to think of it, while I sit here and think that, everything that I have actually put on everywhere is going to be the incorrect link now, isn't it not? Yes, it is. Let me change the link for all of those so no one gets the error message. We had technological issues, or I did, because the live was not popping up as live on my end. So I didn't think I was live. Apparently other people could see me live, but I couldn't. So I was like, oh, there's been an issue. Of course, first time back trying to do at least a little bit of writing, and something has to go wrong. I feel that's like typical me trying to do anything, really. But that's how it is. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. Joanna hasn't touched my draft since June because in July I got COVID. Oh no. Are you feeling better now at least? And then travelling, and now I'm swamped with daytime work. I was so, bear with me while I'm distracted a little bit doing this, guys, I do apologise. I came off of the 1991 challenge at the end of June really like hyped, not really feeling any burnout whatsoever. And then I did maybe 3 days worth of writing, and then I was like, okay, no, now I'm done. The burnout sort of hit then, and it was very much on and off with any sort of productivity. Until the past few days, actually, I've been feeling okay. We've been getting quite a bit of work done that I need to get done. And now I'm at the point where I have five chapters left of revision for the project I'm currently working on, which is And So We Covet. So I want to get through these last 5 chapters by the end of the week, and then I can start organising beta reads for that, and then I can move on to starting the second revision project that I'm supposed to be doing this quarter, which is Of Stars and Smoke and Other Intangible Things. And I've already done a read through for that. I don't know where I put any of my notes. I don't think I made notes. I didn't make notes. I did a very basic read through, and I made this for my read through, which is every single one of my chapters, and then I colour coded what I had as the main focus for each of the chapters as I had it written in the book. So I can see how often I focus on the plot, character, antagonist, and then I will actually use this at some point to then sort of rework the plot ever so slightly. I really should have taken notes because now I don't remember anything I wanted to change, and then start physically rewriting that book as well. So lots of rewrites to do. All of these rewrites are supposed to be done by the end of September, so I can go into the 4th quarter with my new project. I don't know how well that's going to go. I'll try, we'll see. I don't think it needs much revision, the other project. We shall see. Laura, hello, how are you doing today? Joanna's fine now. Really worried my stamina would be wrecked from my trip, but it's just actually fine. Okay, good, absolutely fantastic. We're going to get started with the first set of sprints. We're not going to be here for very long today, I don't think. But the plan is to do 15 3 pomodoros. So 15 minutes of work, and then it'll be a 3-minute break. And then I think I have it set on my timer, and I'm going to double check that actually, so bear in mind while that timer disappears. I think I have it set to do 3 pomodoros before a longer break. So we'll just fly through the first set of pomodoros, which will give us 45 minutes of writing. It is set as a 3-minute break, that is absolutely fine. And long break of, if we do a long break of 7 minutes after 3 pomodoros, and then we'll do maybe a couple more after that, maybe not the full 3. We'll see what the time is. I'm hoping to get through most of the live stream before the 2 youngest children come home from grandma's house, because then it will just be loud and distractful. It depends, because they're
It's Monday. She normally does about 7. She works really stupid. Don't know.
Is it 7 now? Oh, okay, it never
Probably,
used to
yeah.
be 7. Okay. Either way, we'll see how much we can do before they get home, at least. It's a rest day for Laura, so probably focus on making YouTube content and writing. Absolutely fantastic. What type of YouTube content are you going to be creating, Laura? I have my own list to try and get done on the next 5 days I have off work, and we'll see how well I can get that sorted. Right, so we're going to fly straight into the first set of 3 pomodoros. 15 minutes followed by a 3-minute break. We'll do what we can to chat in between in those 3 minutes. But I will probably be cut off speaking or reading people's comments, so I do apologise in advance for that. And we'll have a bit of a longer chat after the first set has been done. And if we are ready to go, we shall start our first set. 45 minutes sprinting in total. 3, 2, 1, and begin.
Can we
Okay, that is the end of the first 15-minute sprint. How did we do? I am working for, and so we cover it off of the manuscript that I had printed off, and the chapter that I'm currently working on, I seem to have skipped in my manuscript, and I've just turned it straight to the next chapter. So I was a little bit concerned about why I had done that, so I had to go back and check my beta notes on one of the manuscripts that someone had done for me, just to check that I hadn't missed any comments. I hadn't missed any comments. Everything that is in this chapter has not been commented on, so I was like, oh, okay, no, that's fine then. So I'm just going through, making slight changes, adding a little bit more of character, inner thought and things like that. I'm really going to have to go through and reread absolutely everything, this entire manuscript, because I started revising it I want to say I started revising this in 2022, and then I stopped, and then I've only just picked it up again this year. And while I sort of still remember the things I need to work on, I don't know if the character arcs that are being changed, I don't know if how I've written it, the character arcs are making sense, because I know where they need to be, but it's like, have I said this already? Have they thought this already? Have they understood this already? But I've just forgotten I've written that. So literally I'm just going to have to read through everything and be like, right, okay, let me track their character arcs to make sure that their ideals and the changes are not duplicated and are happening in the right place and at a decent pace. Rhymed. Yay. So that's what I'm going to have to do. So adding character and thoughts into this is like, oh, would she really think that though? But she's going to think it now, so whatever. I'll fix it later if I need to. But it's coming along alright. I've just got the last little bit. I'm just reading through and altering sentence structure and adding little bits and pieces to that. Easy enough work. Joanna's got about 75% of the text for an infographic for the work done. Tyler's drafting 409 words. 987 for Kat, absolutely fantastic. Angel, hello, how are you doing today? The writing is going okay. The revision is going okay. I'm looking forward to these next few chapters. I'm going to stop talking in 5 seconds. I do apologise. I'm going to cut myself right off as we head into the next sprint. But hopefully this will be done by the time we're back. So I hear about Pomodoros. Next sprint, 15 minutes, guys. Have fun. Let's go. Oh, 3 minutes was so too short. Oh dear. Okay, that is the end of the second sprint. I spent most of that sort of eating, but whatever. I've still got food left as well. Angel is editing. Yes, terrible. Published my debut novel. Noticed that there are some mistakes and no format. Oh, I absolutely hate it when that happens. You think something looks good, but I always find that the second you put it into a different format, different document, different word processor, different text, it's much easier to notice all of the mistakes that you have missed. It's why I don't always like doing my revision on the screen, because I've written everything on the screen. My eyes are used to that font and everything, and it's just so much easier for me to miss mistakes, which is why I prefer having the paper manuscript, because it's a different format for my eyes to adjust to. Romance novel? Yes, romance. I say yes, romance. I'm not actually a romance fan at all whatsoever, but yay, romance. 363 words for Tyler, running out of steam. No, I get how that feels. Is there something you can do to regain some steam, refuel that creative well a little bit? Maybe some reading is not a word. Reading, drawing, I don't know, searching Pinterest, listening to some music, something to get the creative juices flowing again. Maybe some food or drink. That lovingly helps me sometimes when I forget to do both. All the time. I haven't quite finished this chapter. I am just on this last little segment here of finishing this chapter, and then we can move on to the next. These are all quite short chapters for the next. This one is not actually short, never mind. This next chapter is quite short. It's only like 800 words. As we are basically at the climax of the book, because I feel like short chapters sometimes help push the pacing along, make everything a little bit more urgent, rather than sort of lingering too much with one place. But we'll see how it goes as I do everything. Joanna has a meeting in about 7 minutes, but I do want to work on my actual book today at some point. I hope you get the chance to, Joanna. Kat is at 1,051 words. Filled out the first double in my tracker. That's fantastic. Well done. Oh, it's always the first 1,000 words. Always such a big accomplishment. It's like, yes, I've done 1,000. I've only got 9,000 more to go. And it will sort of feel like it's taking too long, but not long enough at all whatsoever. Right, third 15-minute sprint. Kat, how many more words can you get? Let's find out. I'm going to finish eating, so I'm going to disappear again. But I shall return, everyone. Let's get productive. Okay, and that is the end of the first set of pomodoros. How did we all do? Only while I just changed this one thing I was about to change. Lovely. So how did we do? I managed to finish that chapter that I was working on. I think I have done what I needed to do to add the character arc changes to that specific moment. It is sort of like the last moment. Two of the characters are speaking to each other before the actual physical climax of the book happens. They know they're sort of not going to see each other again after the climax happens. So it's sort of very much a two people who are very much used to being on their own, who aren't very good with companionship. One who sort of craves it but finds it difficult, and the other who's just like, I don't need people with me, like I'm fine on my own. Sort of coming together like, right, we're not going to see each other again, like what is there to say, sort of thing. And I feel like adding that to those two specific character arcs will better serve how the book ends, and also sort of shows growth for both of them as well. But again, I'm going to have to make sure that that growth makes sense throughout the entirety of the book, and that I haven't jumped all over the place and made their arc go further in some places and then take a few steps back in the next chapter and then go forward again in another chapter, like I feel I might have done. But again, that's future Sarah's problem. That's end of the week Sarah's problem, really, I guess. So yay for that. Kat just got back with food. Yes, food. You need sustenance. You need to keep the creativity going. Anything to keep yourself feeling as good as possible throughout the task that you have ahead of you. This next chapter is only 860 words long, which is, like, I think it's the shortest chapter. It only needs to be the shortest chapter, really. And it should be more or less very quick to go through and make all the changes I need to make before we get into the actual climax, which is this next chapter here, which is 2,840 words long. And I feel like there is some things I'm going to have to add to the end of it. Or could I make it 2 separate chapters? I could also do that as well. I do want to try and avoid that though. 1, 2. Right, so we're already at 41 chapters. This is the midpoint. Is that midpoint? That's midpoint. Midpoint is chapter 21, which means I've got 20 on one side and 21 and 20 on one side. So technically midpoint is exactly midpoint in the book. Do I want to change it to 2 chapters? I don't particularly need to. I don't think it's going to affect how the book flows at all whatsoever. If I don't want it to be 2,840 words long as a chapter, depending on what I might need to add to it, that is something I might think about doing. I have done it like 3 times already during my revisions. These 2 here used to be 1 chapter, it's now 2. These 2 here used to be 1 chapter, they're now 2. These 2 here used to be 1 chapter, it's now 2. Anywhere where there is a double name for a chapter, it used to be 1 chapter until I made the changes and shortened it to and changed it to 2 chapters. And I have quite a few of those already. But with multi-POV, sometimes it happens and there's multi-chapters and it's not a massive issue. What chapter am I on? I am here. But no, very much looking forward to getting this one done. Very much looking forward to working on the next chapter as well, in which if I flick through, maybe I can see how many changes I have to make, because this also is going to be sort of not a very character arcy chapter, but it's going to help sort of solidify some of the character changes and how the characters' thought processes have changed throughout the book. It's going to help sort of solidify a few of those. But I do feel I've sort of gone a little bit overboard dramatic with some of the reveals for it, or how it works. So I might have to go through and just see how dramatic it is, and if I can tone it back, if I need to tone it back, of course. There are quite a few changes I need to make to it as well, so that is absolutely, that's not the right chapter. When did I switch chapters? I'm confused. Oh, there, okay. Accidentally flipped through an extra chapter that I didn't mean to do. Whoopsie daisy do. Right, I think we should be good for the next set of 3 pomodoros before we need to end the stream, which is absolutely great. We'll get a decent amount of work done, and hopefully we'll get on to chapter 39, because none of these are numbered. So, if we're ready, 15 minutes, let's begin our second set of pomodoros. Okay, 15-minute sprint is over. How did we all do? I managed to finish the little, now 768 word chapter. I feel like there's something not quite right with it as I am reading it. And I don't quite know what it is that I have a text from Oliver.
Ignore it.
I don't have a text. There's something not quite right with it. Maybe the wording of it, maybe the pacing or the length of sentences I have during this mostly last little bit here. As I was just doing the slight revisions to it, doesn't feel quite right, and I can't quite put my finger on what it is that I don't like about it. And I don't know whether it's I don't like it because it doesn't sound good, or whether I've just been looking at it for too long and now it just feels weird. So that's something for me to at least focus on a little bit as I go through and reread everything, just to make sure it does feel okay as I read it again, which is fine. 1,185 words now for cat. Fantastic. Are you still on the opening image, or have you moved on from that now? To the next little section of the Save the Cat. Questions. You've got 10,000 words to write. Yep. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. But that's good. That's good. You're doing a really good job. Fantastic. What I need to do is figure out how to rework this next chapter, which we're on now, so that's fine. I don't know how much of this I'll get through in the next half an hour, but we shall absolutely 100% see. Cat is now in setup. Okay, fantastic. Have you worked out how many words or how many chapters you're doing in each section? I think I know you worked out sort of word count for everything. But are you doing chapters based on word count, or are you just doing word count and chapters will form around what it is that you're writing? Sometimes I work with chapters and not word count, and sometimes I work with word count and chapters. So it's just interesting to see how everybody else does it. Right, we are heading into our second 15-minute sprint of our second and final pomodoro set. And let's begin. Okay, and that is the end of that 15-minute sprint, and the girly girls have returned, which will mark the end of the sprint, so I do apologise about that. If I didn't have the technological issues, we would have actually finished with the entire set of the 6 15-minute Pomodoros. Unfortunately, technology is technology, and yeah, but we still managed to get a good hour and 15 minutes worth of work done, which is good, which is great. I am on the third to last chapter now, so we are getting there. We are good. Yes, Kat, that was my youngest, complaining about the fact that she threw one of her toys accidentally over the fence of Grandma's garden, and the next door neighbours were not home for her to get her toy back. And then I had my second youngest going, "Mum, are you going to keep streaming? How long are you going to keep streaming for?" But there we go. So we are going to call it there for the stream. Kat, update me. Either I'll message you or you message me. Update me with how you get on your first day. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to stream Monday through Friday this week because I don't have work. I don't know what time I will be streaming Monday. Will be Tuesday now. Tuesday through Friday yet. We shall see. You probably early afternoon-ish, so probably between 4 and 5 every single day. We shall see. Keep an eye out. Thank you for joining me. Kat, good luck with your